welterweight champion of the world, Tyron, the chosen one, Woodley.
The chosen one. The chosen one.
Yeah.
The one they tried to keep underneath the blanket.
They tried.
They tried to keep him out the spotlight. Give me the applause. Come on. They don't want him to be the face of the UFC. Why not? They don't want him to be the voice of the UFC. Why not? Well, we're here to say it today, ladies and gentlemen. Give him applause. Give him applause.
Boom, boom.
The chosen one is here. The chosen one is here. The chosen one is here.
Woo!
Tyron Woodley, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing, my man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here today. You got a big fight on the 29th.
Yeah, big fight, 29th, fighting Damian Maia. One of the most renowned grapplers in our sport, actually. He's one of the few guys that are the specialists that are still left. You know, you got guys that can punch, they can wrestle, they can grapple. You don't have that many guys around that just do one thing really well, so that's what he does.
That's what he does, but isn't that at the same time, that's a pro and that's a con, though. If you only do one thing really well, you're like a one-trick pony, so that for you, that gives you an advantage.
It gives me an advantage because, you know, I had the highest takedown defense in the entire UFC for the welterweights and second overall, so it's going to be hard for him to get me down. And just coming from a wrestling background, I'm just not an easy guy to take down. So if that's his one way to win, you know, I feel confident, just not overconfident, because obviously he's taking wrestlers down. He has a crazy amount of pressure, and people have underestimated him and came up short. So I just plan on just putting hands on him over and over and over again and just making him go desperation mode and then knocking him out.
Knocking him out. What is that like, though, man? You've been knocked out before, right?
One time,
One time, man. Yeah. Did you see it coming, or how did?
You know, I was in a fight, and for me, it was actually probably my favorite fight because we were going to war. Most guys knew me as a wrestler. They didn't really see me go into savage mode before. So I was winning the fight, and I took a break on the cage, and I was like, "Ooh, let me catch my breath." And after that, I'm gonna come out storming, and I got hit with an elbow, and I'm like, "Damn, that hurt." I'm like, I told myself, I was like, I probably should move right now. And that's the last thing I remember. The last thing I remember is thinking that I probably should move right now. So I should have moved a little quicker. But, you know, it made me as a fighter. You know, I wasn't protecting undefeated record anymore. That was my first world title fight. I was 10-0. I never thought I was going to lose in a sport. So it shocked me that you're not invincible, dude. You will lose in this sport. And it really just shook me up. And then it changed the way I trained. I knew nobody was going to ever hit me that hard again. I knew I could never lose an undefeated record again. And when I get a chance to fight for my next world title, I was going to come out on top. So, yeah.
And that's what's happened, man. Tyron, the chosen one, Woodley, is here. This fight is a big fight. There are a couple big fights that's happening in boxing as well. You know, you got Canelo is going to be facing off with Triple G. You have a big fight, but the fight everybody's talking about is McGregor and Mayweather. Someone asked me, I was speaking with Randy and Jerry Cooney. They were doing that boxing broadcast, and they asked me, does this fight hurt boxing or does it hurt the UFC?
You know, it's a good time for boxing, actually. You know, you got a great new heavyweight in the mix. You got the Triple D, Canelo. It's a good time for boxing. A lot of people thought boxing was falling off a little bit. So it's not that they needed this extra exposure. I think MMA is always, you know, it's thriving. It hasn't even been around 30 years, and it's probably the most popular sport in the United States right now. So I think it's great to see two guys that are bosses in their own realm come over and fight each other. It's more of a spectacle than an actual matchup and fight, in my opinion. I'm not sitting there going X's and O's. This dude's beating, I mean, Floyd Mayweather, when I say this dude, he's beating the best of the best in their prime in professional boxing. Conor McGregor, though he's a great MMA fighter, I don't regard him as the best boxer in MMA. So with that said, you got to really put things in perspective. Don't go into it, you know, a horror movie expecting comedy. I'm going into an entertainment spectacle, and that's what I'm expecting to see. Great press conference, in each other's face, shoving, pushing, a lot of crap talking, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Why isn't your billing, you think, at the level of a Conor McGregor's coming out of this sport?
You know, I think it's just an investment they made into Conor. Conor brought a country with him. You know, he self-promoted himself long enough. They saw something behind it, and they got behind him. But for me, if you look at my resume, no fighter's been in more movies than I've been in, have more networks with other entertainers, professional athletes, rappers, and just fight the way I fight, sports analysts, everything that I do, you would think that it would be very easy to market me. So you just put your head down, keep doing what you do, keep winning, keep beating people, and at the end of the day, they're going to have no choice. I'm going to be the next star in the UFC, bigger than Conor, because Conor, if he wins or loses this fight, I don't see him coming back. So now what are they going to do?
You don't think he's going to come back?
I mean, you're not going to pay me 100 M's and I'm going to come back and fight for 5 or 10. I'm going to try to do another boxing fight.
That's a good-ass point. I was hoping that after the Mayweather fight that you two would square up.
He don't want it.
I keep bringing this up, and I know people always ask you, how come you two don't fight?
Ask him. Is it like, I would sign a contract. I'll switch to opponents right now. Conor McGregor is sometimes, I don't want to take the curtain off his act because, I'm never being a hater on the guy.
Yeah.
He's built this mystique. He's built this push behind him, and everybody either want to see him get beat up or they want to see him win. But when it come down to the real deal, people that'll say, I'll fight anybody anytime, none of those guys want to fight me. George St. Pierre, none of the Diaz brothers, Conor McGregor, Michael Bisping, all these guys in the front of the camera say they'll fight anybody anytime except me.
The Diaz brothers won't fight Tyron Woodley.
Oh, they flown him out to Vegas several times to try to get them to fight me. Now, their thing is different. I don't think it's about being scared to fight me.
Yeah.
It's more about the money thing. They're making a lot of money in the medicinal marijuana world. They killing it there. And I feel like if they're going to come off the couch and fight, they want to get paid.
I love the Diaz brothers.
I like the Diaz brothers
as well.
well.
Those dudes are dope, man. I really like those guys. George St. Pierre, he's been here before. He won't fight you?
George St. Pierre, he's playing games.
He's playing games?
Yeah, I'm focusing on Damien. It's like, oh, Dana said that if you beat this guy, then George is next. I'm focusing on this guy because if you don't beat this guy, nobody's next.
Bisping.
So, Bisping, I'll fight him too.
He's a good fighter.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
But I punch harder than him, and I'm a weight class lower than him.
888-742-3345. Tyron Woodley is here, the chosen one. You want to talk to him, give us a call right now.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.
Kilo.